Hello and welcome back. And also we are here today to review and look at the top 10 classes for 2020. So if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button and of course turn on those notifications. Right, so I did this last year and I did my own list. So this year I put a poll out with a load of classes in it and just said to everyone, vote for what you think's best, really. And that is how we've come up with this list, apart from one that I accidentally left off. Now there's some good classes that aren't of course here, but there are many good ones that are. So at number 10, Legion Doomknight is still sneaking in. I have no idea how it's still managing it, but of course, as far as I'm aware, this class is pretty damn seasonal, so you can only get it at certain times in the year. It is a good all-round class, there's not too much to it really. It wouldn't be top on my priority list, but still, it's managed to sneak its way in. At number 9 is Shadowscythe General. So this one is very much based towards a farming class. It can solo stuff as well, but it will take you forever, so you wouldn't want to use it for that. It is of course free to get, so you just come along, complete some daily quests, and eventually you'll have enough items to grab it if you do indeed want it. It does multi-hit lots of enemies, so it is definitely aimed towards farming. At number 8 is Shadowstalker of Time. So 6,000 adventure coins this would set you back, unless of course you bought the 2017 calendar. But as we all know, the sort of Chronomancer classes have always been really powerful. This one has over the years been sort of powered down. However, if you were looking at this a few years ago, it was probably the best class in the game. So with that in mind, it's still sneaking its way in, but it is just not what it used to be. At number 7 is Arch Paladin. Now this is one of those classes that I think deserves to be higher, but that's just my opinion on it. It is an absolutely insane farmer. The crits you can get off it are incredible. If you keep on stacking your 2, then before you know it, you're going to be hitting, you could hit 100Ks plus with this, easy as anything, this class. It is really good, of course, free to get as well. So if you don't have Arch Paladin, I would definitely recommend going and grinding that one out. So, next up at number 6 is Lord of Order. This is one that really puzzled me as to why it got this spot. I honestly just don't rate this class, but you know what? It is a good support class, and it can be alright in PvP if you did want to use it for that. It does take a little while to get going again with any sort of boss fights, so just bear that one in mind. At number 5 is Stonecrusher. Now, as many of you all know, this is probably maybe this is my second favourite class in the game. I absolutely love Stonecrusher. It's an insane support class, it can solo pretty much anything, it's got good damage and heal over time. It is just a really great all-round class. Obviously, it can't farm, and sometimes you can't actually win with it in PvP, so definitely worth going and getting that one. At number 4 is Lightcaster. Now, this one has slipped down a place or two but that doesn't mean it still isn't a great class. It is still a great soloer like it always was, and it can still do the really nice big crits when you start using it correctly. I got Lightcaster, and as you can see, I've only got it to rank 1, which sort of shows you my thoughts on it. But hey, it is still a good class. So at number 3 is Yami No Ronin. So this is the culprit for putting Lightcaster down, because they're both pretty similar classes really. Due to it being free, there's no way I couldn't put it any higher. Now I actually forgot to add this one into the poll, so I put it at number 3 myself, so apologies to anyone that hates the class, but to be honest, if it didn't get number 3 I would have been surprised anyway. So number 2 is Void Highlord. Now the top 2 classes fought this out for some time, believe it or not, and the stats were actually quite close. I did a couple polls on this. This wasn't the only results I used to make this video. Did do another separate one as well, but Void Highlord, as you all know, insane PvP class, insane soloing class. It is just great, and I use it all the time now. Honestly, my favourite class in the game. But that said, number 1 goes to Legion Revenant. So you thought it was better, it only got a few more votes. The poll, the real difference between this and Void Highlord is the fact that it's just an all-round class. It farms, it supports, it PvPs, it solos, it does everything Legion Revenant that you could possibly want, which is why it makes it a really great class. But don't be fooled though, it still ain't gonna solo and PvP as well as Void Highlord, so I'm just putting that out there because obviously I'm a Void Highlord fanboy. Anyway, just in case you want to know how a couple of the other classes got on, I just included a couple more on the list there. Poor old Cryo at the bottom, I think that was always going to be inevitable. But guys, thank you all very much for watching, make sure you give the video a like, and of course subscribe, and I'll see you all again very soon.